Morning Show.
Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the Sugar City Morning Show live from Orange Walk. Buenos días todos y bienvenidos a esta edición de Sugar City Morning Show en vivo desde Orange Walk. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo se encuentran? Ojalá y bien. Como siempre, anunciando que estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión, Canal 10, aquí en la Avenida San Lorenzo. Hoy empiezan las clases, así que entre media hora o algo por el estilo, no vas a poder ni caminar en estas áreas, frente de IT Bishop Martin High School y, bueno, desde la semana pasada, pero el impacto se hace mucho más fuerte cuando abren las escuelas de primaria, que en realidad hoy se abren. Así que muchas felicidades a todos los estudiantes, a todos, niños y niñas, y ojalá y le pongan gran empeño a su año escolar para poder sobresalir y hacer valer todos los esfuerzos que sus papás hacen por ustedes y que también ustedes hacen. Muchas felicidades. A los maestros les deseo todo lo mejor, a todos los integrantes del sistema escolar, porque no creas que simplemente trata de un esfuerzo de estudiar. Tienes que tener al maestro correcto que te estimula a buscar más información, te estimula a aprender más. Así que es una combinación perfecta, y cuando tienes el deseo y también tienes la persona correcta que te esté estimulando y tus papás que están contigo, entonces no hay forma que puedas tú salir mal, no hay forma. Yo te digo, ánimo, métele ganas, hazte una promesa que vas a hacer lo mejor por ti, para ti y para toda tu familia. Porque al final del día, el sobresalir en tus clases es algo bueno. Al final del día, habla mucho de tu parte, porque cuando te esfuerzas, eso ya indica que tienes capacidad de poder enfocarte y hacer lo mejor de una situación. Buenos días todos. De nuevo, las 7:05. Yo sé que los papás estarán preparando a sus hijos para ir a la escuela a esta hora. Me imagino que estarán desayunando o ya desayunados y estarán preparando para ir a llevarlos a la escuela. Yo ya sé el drama de ese primer día de escuela, pues ya lo he pasado muchas veces. Buenos días, como siempre, le damos comienzo a nuestro show con una oración reconociendo y a un poder superior en nuestras vidas y agradeciéndole a este poder superior por todo lo que hace por nosotros y pidiéndole obviamente que nos ayude en el curso del día y de la semana. Padre, te damos las gracias por tus bendiciones. Yo reconozco un poder superior que rige sobre este universo. Eso eres tú. Yo reconozco a un poder superior que le da propósito a la vida. Eso eres tu Padre. Yo reconozco un poder superior que le pone orden a la vida. Eso eres tu Padre. Hubo un tiempo cuando me hacía yo las grandes preguntas, que dónde estás, por qué no te vemos y tal. Pero ya dejé de hacer las preguntas, porque yo reconozco que esas preguntas no me llevarán a nada. De que en vez de que esté buscando respuesta a esas preguntas, debo dar cupo a mi fe. ¿Qué es lo que yo creo? Que al final del día puedo yo lograr, qué puedo yo hacer para hacerme a una persona feliz. Y obviamente, Padre, tuve que formular mi fe contigo dentro, porque sin ti no soy nada. Te doy las gracias por todo, Padre. Te doy las gracias por tu amor, por por tu participación en mi vida, por ser parte de mi vida y la vida de muchas personas. Te pido hoy, Padre, que todo salga bien con el primer día de la escuela. Te pido que también hoy salga bien todo con temas otra naturaleza. Y también te pido, Padre, que hoy tengamos la fortaleza de poder merecer esas bendiciones que tú nos das, porque nos amas tanto. Que podamos dirigir nuestros esfuerzos hacia el prójimo y decir, toma, porque yo tengo sobre y tú no tienes. Toma, comparto contigo. Que seamos más dativos, generosos, amorosos y menos egoístas y llenos de nosotros mismos. Padre, te pido como siempre por nuestros familiares, nuestras amistades, nuestros compañeros de trabajo. Te pido por las personas que están pasando por tiempos difíciles, luego de la pérdida de un ser querido, por los viejitos abandonados, los niños desamparados y abandonados, también por los enfermos, enfermas en sus casas, en las cárceles, en los hospitales, donde sea que se encuentren. Y también las personas que de una forma u otra lo están viendo difícil. Padre, hoy te entrego este día, que se haga tu voluntad, no la mía, que se haga tu voluntad y que así sea. Padre, te bendecimos, te adoramos y te glorificamos siempre. Amén. Good morning. If you just joined us, it is exactly 10 minutes after 7. Let's see what the general weather forecast is. You can't complain because on Friday and on Saturday we had some heavy rains. And in particular, Saturday evening, about 7 o'clock, a lot of people couldn't go to church because, it was exactly that hour when the heavy rains came down. Relatively moist and unstable conditions prevail over the area. The 24-hour forecast: sunny with a few cloudy spells today and cloudy at times tonight. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will occur over inland areas this afternoon and evening, and then over subcoastal and offshore areas tonight. The winds variable at 5 to 10 knots. Sea state slight to light chop. Temperatures along the coast: 91 as a high, 78 as a low. Inland, 95 as a high, 75 as a low. And in the hills, 86, I beg your pardon, as a high and 68 as a low. There are no advisories, no watches. But if you quickly go to the National Hurricane Center page, you will notice that there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5 areas of concern. Not 1, 5. None of them, I repeat, none of them pose an immediate threat to Belize. 0. 1 is heading towards Mexico, Tamaulipas, etc. Then the other one is Dorian, that is expected to make landfall. Well, not landfall, but it's supposed to skirt the U.S. coast. Skirting is the right word. Skirt the U.S. coast, and just about tonight or tomorrow. And then you have let me just go back to the page. And then you have another entity that is in the middle of Atlantic that is not going anywhere. And then you have off the Cape Verde Islands, Cape Verde, which is called, this season is called the Cape Verde season because it's August, September, when those areas produce lots of hurricane because of it's the islands immediately off Africa. And that's why it's called the Cape Verde season. But it's only 2 months. And these are producing, that area is producing 2 areas of concern. But one of them that shows the maximum concern is with high percentage chance of formation through the next 48 hours, and that is heading north. So nothing that bothers us. And then the other one is heading west generally, and that one bears watching, but it's going a little bit too north of a gradient to be able to come in within the Caribbean Sea, because like I tell you, it's still way in Africa. So nothing at the moment, nothing at the moment, but we'll keep you informed about that. Remembering, or reminding you rather, that the ones that are of concern to us are the ones that come very low and go straight west. And those are the little suckers we need to watch. And the other one is in late October, when the first cold fronts come down, and the remnants of it are in the Western Caribbean Sea, and then those tend to develop into something quickly, into something, but because that's by history, that's one of the breeding grounds for hurricanes as well. But in October and November, and we have Mitch, and we have a number of others to show for it. So, we have to be careful of those. But in the moment, September, most of them come from the Atlantic, because the cold fronts aren't coming down yet. So September, October, ojo al Cristo. But at the moment, nothing that presents a threat, nothing. The outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday and Tuesday night, is for isolated showers or isolated thunderstorms. A low tide occurred this morning at 5:58, a high tide at 12, a quarter after 12 this afternoon, second low tide at 19 minutes after 6 this evening, and the second high tide tomorrow morning at 26 minutes after midnight. The sun rose this morning at 5:39, and the sun is setting today at 5 minutes after 6. The moon is rising today at 8 minutes before 9, and is setting at 9:01 this evening. Thank you, forecaster Angelia Guy, for that information. Buenos días. Perdón. Aquí les va el reporte del estado del tiempo. No, bueno, aquí en Orange Walk, luego de estar casi rogando por lluvia, cayó mucha lluvia el viernes y el sábado. El sábado en particular llovió por casi una hora sin parar o más. Y fue lluvia pesada. Aún así, yo creo que eso no nos saca del déficit que tenemos en lo que se trata de la caída de lluvia para poder devolver los niveles de agua a su normalidad. Imposible. Una lluvia no puede hacer eso. Así que nos falta mucha más caída de lluvia para poder llevarnos hacia lo que es la normalidad. Pero por el momento, este es el reporte del estado del tiempo para hoy, que dice que condiciones relativamente húmedas e inestables continúan controlando el clima en nuestra área. Para las siguientes 24 horas, soleado, con algunos periodos de nubosidad durante el curso del día. Hoy, nublado por momentos hoy por la noche. Vamos a tener algunos chubascos o tronadas aisladas. Hoy está ocurriendo más que en las áreas del interior hoy por la tarde. Así que no podemos descontar la posibilidad de tener una tronada hoy por la tarde o temprano por la noche. Y luego algunas chubascos, tronadas ocurriendo en la porción de la costa y en el mar abierto hoy por la noche. Los vientos variables de 5 a 10 nudos, en el estado del mar casi inmóvil a ligeramente agitado. Temperaturas por la costa, 91 grados como una máxima, 78 como una mínima por la costa. En el interior subimos a 95 grados, y esto es típico de septiembre. Típico. altas temperaturas, con alta humedad, y te sientes pegajoso y te sientes que necesitas ir a bañarte 5 veces al día. Una mínima de 75 grados. Por las colinas 86 como una máxima y 68 como una mínima. Y lo bueno es, compañero, de que pues esta etapa de altas temperaturas y alta humedad no duran para siempre, pues gracias a Dios. Tan pronto agosto empezamos con la misma situación, perdón, octubre, pero también agosto empezamos con la misma situación, septiembre, octubre, una parte de octubre, y tan de repente octubre queda diferente. Por las mañanas queda totalmente fresca, las mañanas, y ya luego entonces empieza un cambio drástico en la temperatura. Por las colinas dije 86 como una máxima y 68 como una mínima. Menciono eso porque algunas personas ya están hasta aquí con el calor y andan esperando, contando los días hasta que lleguen los vientecitos de Hanal Pishan. No hay ninguna advertencia en lugar, pero como dije en inglés, hay cinco entidades en el Caribe y el Océano Atlántico, pero ninguna de esas entidades presenta alguna amenaza al país de Belice, enteramente. Y uno está en el Golfo yéndose para México, el otro es Dorian, que se supone va a casi llegar a la península, pero no llega a la península de la Florida, luego se va por el norte. El otro está en el Atlántico abierto, sabrá Dios dónde va a ir, y los otros dos están todavía por el continente africano, y uno está puesto para ir al norte, y es el que muestra más vigor, y el otro también está puesto para desarrollarse, pero un poco muy al norte. Así que por el momento no hay nada, pero no quiere decir de que tan de repente pueda salir uno que que tengamos que estar mirando, pero bien cautelosamente y con mucho detenimiento. Pero, ¿qué se espera mañana? Y mañana por la noche, chubascos aislados con tronadas aisladas también. La marea baja a las 5:58, una alta a las 12:15, otra baja a las 6:19 y otra alta a las 12:26. 26 minutos luego de la medianoche. El sol salió a las 5:39 y el sol se oculta a las 6:05. Y de igual forma la luna sale a las 8:52 hoy por la mañana y se oculta a las 9:01. Gracias a Forecast Angelia Guy por esta información, y también a nosotros miembros del National Weather Service ahí en Ladeville, muchas gracias. Y también muchas gracias a nuestros patrocinadores, que son German Vega & Sons, Vega Imports, Vega Distributors del Benque, también Digi, Government of Belize Information Service, Belize Tourist Board, A&R Stores y Banquitas House of Culture. Vamos a una pausa, estamos de vuelta con ustedes con muchísimo más luego de estos anuncios, pero no se vayan.
DJ customers, imagine you and 5 of your friends partying at the highest level, platinum style, at the biggest weekend in Belize. We're talking about tickets to the Belize September Festival Weekend Street Fest featuring Nessa Preppy and Mato and Wyrus and Friends on September the 9th, featuring the long-awaited Sizzla Kalonji.
Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. There's so much going on in the world. Simplicity we used to survive.
Vanessa Bling, Jacka. All you gotta do is text PARTY to 3444 and win this mega package, which includes 6 platinum tickets, 1 private booth, 1 bottled drink of your choice, personal waitress, photographer with visits from the artist. Only $1 per text, so the more you text, the more chances to win this mega package. Promo ends on Wednesday, September the 4th, so remember to text PARTY to 3444 and win!
All day of my life.
It's back to school time once again, and the only store to visit for all your back to school needs is A&R Store on Baker Street here in Orange Walk Town. Visit them for the absolute largest assortment of school bags in the country with brands like JanSport, Skechers, Everest, Capsule, and character bags like Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Jojo, Siwa, Unicorn, and so much more. Remember, A&R Store is your one-stop source for all your school supplies like exercise books, folders, sheets, dry eraser boards, foam boards, crayon and coloring books, plus so much more. Plus, they have a wide assortment of housewares including bed sheets, cookware, and garbage containers in all sizes and at the best prices in town. Visit A&R on Baker Street today, now with extended hours to better serve you from 8 a.m. through to 6 p.m., Monday to Saturday. A&R Stores, where prices do make all the difference.
Need an escape from your daily schedule? Why not become a tourist in your own country? Discover Western Belize. Transport back in time and be awed by the reminiscences of the Mayan civilization. Be adventurous or spend a day with family and friends enjoying the serenity of the Macau River. Sample a kaya staple or pick up some fresh produce to make your own delicacy. Come visit us in Western Belize. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multipurpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. Hoy es lunes, un día especial, un día que utilizamos para recapitular, por decir, lo que sucedió el fin de semana. Y por eso es que tenemos un compromiso con el señor Rubén Campos. Y me es grato darle la bienvenida y saludar al señor Rubén Campos hoy por la mañana. Buenos días.
Buenos días, hermano.
Rubén, y también darle la bienvenida al señor Robert Chequi Usher. Buenos días, Chequi.
Good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Y bienvenido, ¿cómo
Buenos
estás?
días.
C1.
Good morning, my brother.
Brothers in arms.
¿Cómo
today.
están?
Bien,
Okay.
gracias. Bonito
Me alegro.
día. Gracias a Dios por esta. Yo siempre digo, mi lead phrase es este, Manuel. Gracias a Dios por una ventana nueva para ver un nuevo día.
Yeah,
Exactamente.
yeah. A new window.
Yes.
RCM, good morning once
Morning.
again. This morning, before we touch on the convention and about the politics and the party, I want to touch something that I know is very close to your heart, right? And that's our Belizean flag.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
last week a team from Niche got together and they were showing us the flag, and they did a standardization of the flag of Belize, which we should all respect. What's your views on that?
Well, to begin with, let me say good morning to everyone. Muy buenos días a todos. Bendiciones. There are two things in this world that God gave us that we should always love and cherish. Our mother, who brought us to this world, and our mother country, which is Belize. And the symbols that represent us, Chucky and Emmanuel, one, our national anthem, our national flag. Those are symbols that represent each and every one of us. And we should always hold to high standard the respect, the dignity, and the meaning of what the flag and our national anthem stands for. I was coming from Belize City yesterday, and I had to stop at a gas station. They had good intention, and they had the Belize flag along in the front. However, half of it was on the ground. I said, "Sir, you don't mind?" So that's our flag. That flag should never touch that earth. It should always be held to the highest standard.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, if you don't pull them up, can I pull them up for you? Because that flag should never touch the ground and be disgraced the way you have it. I don't really mean to say disgrace, sir. No, I was talking to the man, but it's disrespectful. Your intentions are good, but we should always hold our flags to the highest, because that represents us, who we are, and when we look at the political elements involved in it, it has all the political parties there. It has all the agreement of political parties that should be our flag, which is important. And that is what this month really brings to us. It brings to us unity, nationalism, celebration, patriotism, but most important, it should bring us a sense of respect for one another. If during this month, Chucky and Emmanuel, we can go and celebrate with our Belizean flag as one people, why is it then that we should allow that flag to be dissected in the political parties to divide us, when election time is only an expression of our opinion? So to me, it rings a bell of awakening, of nationalism, pride. I love to see my flag. I love to hear my national anthem. It's O Land of the Free by the Caribbean Sea. What better can you say? How can you feel,
Yeah.
And it's important to me,
I have a question, Chicky. Consequent, because we have been discussing it from last week.
But again, to the flag, excuse me, if you don't mind, I know we're talking about the flags at them, but our flag is in the corner. I think if you don't mind, let me put it right here. Is that okay with you, Manuel, Chucky?
Yes, man, sure.
Okay, we're talking about that. Respectfully, with permission, of course.
That's an authentic flag, right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
This is an authentic flag.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
The
is.
reason why I'm saying this is an authentic flag is very simple,
Watch it,
because there are not two yellow man there in there. What happens? And I'm going to get to the question of why I am, the big question. In an effort to cheapen the manufacture of the flag, a lot of importers have turned to the Far East, China, Taiwan, etc., to produce the flags in bulk. And they have not been careful with the colors and with the small details that are included in the coat of arms. And therefore, when you look at the two men, you find that they are supposed to represent a black man and a Hispanic. But the Hispanic is not Hispanic, he's yellow. And the black man is no longer black, but brown. Brown is yellow. Look like Chinese. So, my question is, after this creation of a standard, have they published protocols on how to do this? Do you know of any? If they just put out protocols? Because you could be creating a standard, but you have to put out the protocols. Where are they?
And right now they have lot of them shops here in Belize we still have the flags that are not authentic.
All
So
right,
what will they do with them for the
exactly
September,
right.
RT?
And another thing is, I see that regardless, some distinction must be made, and I repeat, protocols again, some distinction must be made between what is a flag and what is very simply used as an emblem, as one of those not emblem, things that fly. What's the general word for it?
Streamers.
Streamers or something like that.
Yeah.
Because you can take parts of the flag and create streamers
Yeah,
out
true.
of it.
Yeah.
But that's not the flag.
No, it's not the flag.
That's not the flag. I saw by Immaculata that they've taken out the red with the coat of arms, the blue with the coat of arms. Those are streamers or whatever that they used, but it's not the flag. I would personally ask teachers, please, when it comes to the flag, don't print out these red, white, and blue flags and give it to kids as a representation of our flag. Because you know what happens? It ultimately ends up on the ground and people trample on it. And it pains my heart to see that people are actually trampling. And a lot of people are dismissive of what you call it, and say, pero son niños, pero son niños que tienen que aprender a respetar la bandera. Y enseñarlos desde muy pronto, que las banderas no deben de tocar el suelo. Así que no les des esas banderitas que al rato después ellos ya lo aventaron al suelo. Y yo te puedo decir, estando en el Main Street, justo ahí donde se ponen los niños para el 21, el 20, como sea, ves el tiradero de banderas. Y eso me duele.
But what we need to understand also is that this month, as I mentioned, remember I mentioned the word respect, exactly to what Emmanuel and we were discussing, Jackie.
Right.
In that, if we look all over the world, you know, we say, well, we shouldn't copy nothing, but one legacy that was carried forward from British Honduras to Belize is that there was always that respect, standing of attention, to be able to show respect to your flag and to your country. And I believe that we need to strengthen that. I want to be positive. We need to strengthen that position, even at the school. Teach the kids early how to be marching with your flags, like you said, you know, from early, so that they learn to know that that flag is you, and you always take care of you. So once we learn to appreciate and tell the kids and show the kids. Now, how do we show the kids? By everyone, not only the teachers or the police. Whenever the national anthem is being played or the flag, we come to attention. And I shared a post of the president of AMLO in Mexico, where they had the declaration of Back to School 2019. And you can see the kids there with the flag, marching like little soldiers, you know, all the way with discipline and respect and holding that flag high. Why did I share that? Because that is how I see us honoring and respecting our Belizean flag. Sometimes we need to look at, to learn, but I believe that if each and every one of us take that opportunity to have that respect for our flag, Emmanuel, and like you say, wave it high, wave it proudly, and not disgrace it, we are going to become a better nation. Because that is
asking,
unity.
Yeah.
I'm still asking, and if it has not been forthcoming, I'm asking Niche or whoever to publish a list of protocols. In other words, I want that list to say the flag must not be put on any vehicle, on any bonnet. It must not be carried by two people, because it says very simply, it needs to be on a mast, on a pole. It's that's the way it is, and the flag must not touch the ground. There must be a stringent list of what to do and what not to do. Has that been published? Or do people just make their own as the time passes by, or what are we supposed to do? Can I just go to China and say, give me one container load flag, Belize flag, and any color you want? Can I do that? Where is this going? Where is the protocol? Where is the standardization?
Let's make a call sometime today and find out
what
about
happens?
that.
But those are valid questions that we need to direct to Niche, because in the consultation, you notice the political parties were involved.
Yes.
And there was the approval of political parties to say this is the symbolism that we will recognize jointly. So, of course, I assume that at this point those protocols are being put in place because then it must be honored by all concerned. We live in a political society where we need to be able to standardize what we have and see, and how we respect our flag and how we play our national anthem. So I agree that we should do the research and get what the protocol, and if it's being prepared, what does it include? And there was a period, I believe, that it was asked exactly what Emmanuel was saying. Send in to niche some of these ideas that you may have, which is good. Emmanuel has mentioned some of the things that we need to really put into place, the protocol for this. And one of the protocols is that before you print your flag, maybe you should at least indicate or get a clearance from NITS to say, this is what I intend to do, and get an approval before you do that. It doesn't matter where you order it, where it comes from, but you must get an approval of the template. This is what the flag should be. This is what they should look at. So when we look at the template, that would give us, and NITS should only give an approval, this is what it should be, or you need to change this before you print. Or
it has different variations.
Right, and if you import it, then you will not allow you to do it.
A lot of people use this and use this, and this is wrong. This is the correct flag. All right? And if you notice, this is a brown man and a yellow man, and it should be a black man and a yellow.
So that's the one we have here?
That's the one we have here. But all of these are wrong. This is the standardizing. So I want to see a follow-up niche. I want to see you put out a list of protocols saying the flag must this.
But Emmanuel, you have good ideas. I would invite you to make a note of what you're expressing and send it to Niche, because they have opened the window for Belizeans to say, well, send us your ideas of these things. And I think it's not only to request, but you have good ideas. So we should send it to them and say, look, this is what we think should be the protocol in terms of production of our flags and how we display our flags. And, what's in the country right now, it's in. You understand that much you can do, but for future down the road ceremonies. And again, we need to examine where they come from. Where do they come from? Where are they coming from?
Yeah.
We have so many imports from all over that it attracts.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, I'm glad that we touched that. But RC and Emmanuel, yesterday marked 3 years of the passing of one of our great friend, a great musician brother, Mr. Luis Castillo. Yesterday marked 3 years that he passed. He was the bass player for the Youth Connection Band, and he used to work a lot with television with ourselves, RC, and Raul Martinez, all over, all the late nights there trying to get things together. And someone sent me a text today and said today is 1 year since our great friend, Miss Suleima, passed away, Today marks 1 year.
Well,
so quickly?
Yeah.
Time goes so fast.
1 year? Man.
Yeah. So we pay our respects to the legacy and the history that they left. It's recognizing their contribution to our community, and respect to the families. And on days like this one, when we remember historically those good friends that we had an opportunity to share valuable time, we can only remember the good times, the contribution that they made to our community. Like you said, Louis was a tremendous musician, and he loved his music, and he loved that bass, and when he was so passionate about it that other musicians that come along follow. And like with Suleima, the family unity, the outspoken, the community worker that she was.
My brother Raul will make it, what, 10 years? No, he'll make 11 years.
11,
yeah. Good Lord, man, that's time fly back so quickly.
You see, this is what I call unsung heroes. Unsung heroes that contributed, like his brother Raul. I can remember, in the little house right there where you had the original Channel 10, where from 7 o'clock the night till 5, 6 in the morning the next day, going through those shots and editing, because at that time there was no edit machine. That the same camera, you roll, cut, bring back, go back, and enter the piece, and they had such a passion and love, and I wish we could get hold of some of those historic films, because they were historic because you had no technology at that time for cut ad or they were the real thing. The real thing.
That time you don't get sleepy, pa?
Huh?
You know when 5 o'clock the morning come.
No.
Yes.
No, you sit down and you
So
chat.
you and Almeida in there?
They're right there, man.
So we chat in there, and time goes, and I along with them, I have loved the media for a long, long time, and I have appreciated, what goes behind the production of shows and what we see on the screen, that the valuable people behind the scenes who make it happen.
Right. And gentlemen, before we go on our next break, I would like to send a special congratulations to a special lady in this community, guys, to Mrs. Tomasita Urbina. I went to ENR on Friday, RC, and ENR was packed, and that lady was right there, working with everybody inside the store to make sure that all the kids get their materials to go back to school, because today is back to school.
Yes.
So I must commend Mrs. Urbina and the crew there at ENR.
Oh, absolutely. Ms. Tomasita Urbina is a very outstanding lady who's committed to education. From time to time, we communicate.
Yep.
And she has this inner strength and love for children and education. She holds education to an extremely high standard. And I know, along with her late husband, the late Rosendo Chendo Urbina, they were very much involved in uplifting and assisting education, not only in Orangewock, but all the way in Toledo, in remote villages that they gave their heart and soul, giving back to the community. And Mrs. Tomasita Urbina resembles to us this figure of respect, not only as a woman, but as a Belizean patriot who is committed to ensuring that education goes on. She's a hard-working lady even today,
Yeah, and today is the first day at school. We want to wish all the kids the best. When you go to school the first day, Mr. Martinez, when you go to school the first day, you teacher asked for this and I asked for that, something that wasn't on the list. But so a day like today, ENR will be packed once again this afternoon, and we invite you to go to ENR and get, all your school supplies. They have everything, RC.
Oh yes, ENR is what you call your one-stop, a place where you go and you get all what you need for education and whatnot. Yep. But going back again to the kids, I want to congratulate all the parents who are sending their kids to school, and the teachers and those involved in education. We must remember that the best gift we can give our community is education, and we do that to our children. Education is extremely important, and my quote has always been, education is the difference of who you are today and who you want to be tomorrow.
Okay, so on that note...
And congratulations to the children.
Right.
Let's take a break. It's 8:15, and when we come back, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of what happened this weekend. Let's take that break.
RC,
Journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, rush runs, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go.
Sir. First sense question of the day. Why you the letter here?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the environment.
So all of that? Well, know that to put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. Estamos en vivo desde Nortevisión, Canal 10, aquí en la Pea aldea de Trial Farm, justo enfrente de la Tivet. Es una mañana preciosa, pero hecha aún más preciosa porque tenemos buen ánimo, es lunes y estamos aquí unidos con el señor Rubén Campos y el señor Chequi Usher. Así que buenos días de nuevo a todos.
Yeah,
Muy
thank you,
buenos
Mr.
días.
Martinez.
Muchas gracias.
Well, RC1, the Honorable Patrick Farber was endorsed yesterday as the standard bearer once again for the Colored Division, but there was another big event on that same occasion.
Yeah, it was two things. One, the endorsement of his candidacy for the College Division, and also the launch of his leadership for the United Democratic Party. Now, in terms of the endorsement of his convention at the Civic Center, it was a packed Civic Center. And,
I have pictures of them.
Great. You have the pictures there, and people came out to pay respect. And I must say that as a member of the Central Executive, he extended invitation to everyone, to attend, whether all UDPs, to attend the convention, to witness his endorsement. So I mean, as an aspiring leader, he's a person that tends to gravitate for unity. He has always been speaking about unity, so he sends an invitation to everyone, and I send you an invitation. Some make it, some don't make it, etc. Yeah. But the invitation was extended, and it was almost an hour and a half program, which you had, for example, you had a young fellow by the name of Richard Pitts with a clarinet.
Yeah.
Played the national anthem. And let me tell you,
he's a music teacher as well.
It was extraordinary to hear the national anthem on such an instrument, and that you could feel the room, as big as it was. He gave goosebumps, because he had that emotion with the instrument and the national anthem. And then of course, as tradition, it was then followed by prayers, and that was done by the Reverend Goff. And then you have the chairperson of the College constituent, Miss Carol Jones, who gave a presentation about what the convention is all about, the presentation, and then the presentation of the College delegates who went to the stage, and they were sworn in by the Secretary General, Mrs. Pearl Stewart. And again, there was a section in the program where the biography of Patrick Farber was shown to those present, and by the media. I think it was carried live and people could see it, And then there was a song by Aurelie Castillo right there, and then there was the introduction by Miss Fit Bab. Fit Bab, I served with her in 1984. We went to...
Is she in a relative to
Patrick?
Patrick?
It's like there's no direct relation, but it's like I adopt you,
Okay.
You understand? When she was the area representative, he was a young man then, a campaigner, and he was an outspoken person for the young generation. And then Faith Bab spoke about him, about how she came in contact with him. And let me tell you, Faith Bab, I served with her in 1984, and we did some political training in Europe together, and she was in the spirit of including young people and working along with young people, and that is the connection with Patrick Farber and her, and where he was a campaigner, then he became a youth director, and then he gave you the history of how he went in the rostrum, like how Youths of Unity used to do here in Orange Walk.
So he was like her protege.
Exactly, precisely. But we're not using a big fancy word today, we leave that for another program. Right now we broke it down, we have to talk to the grassroots. But being his mentor, he gravitated towards leadership, and when the seat became vacant, he had indicated to her and the constituent that he would be interested, and that's where he got involved in that, But apart from that, you must recall that he was a former party chairman of the UDP, in which I served with him during that time also, and we traveled the country, got involved, get to know what is not. He's being elected and being given the portfolio by the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Remember, it goes all the way back to to Sir Manuel Esquivel days. Then he comes up with the Right Honorable Dean Barrow, where he was granted a portfolio, and from chairman he went to deputy party leader. He was appointed deputy prime minister by the Right Honorable Dean Barrow, and up to now he holds a portfolio of education, youth, sports, and culture. So now, since the party has opened for applications for leadership, he has submitted his application, and yesterday at his endorsement convention, he made it known to those present and to the nation that he is committed to pursuing the leadership of the United Democratic Party.
In his address, RC, he also mentioned that he was once a councillor in the Belize City Council. And he spoke about the challenges that he went through, with the passing of his dad, his two brothers, and I believe one of his niece. And the way he spoke yesterday, it clearly shows the maturity of the Honorable Patrick Faber.
Well, with time and trials and tribulations, one learns. We are imperfect. There is no such thing as perfection. The only perfection we know is the Lord God, who is the only perfect being. Here on earth, there is no such thing as perfection. We work every day towards doing the best we can, and he has learned a lot of lessons. And if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. And by learning from your mistakes, a mature individual will then only evolve into a better human being, a better person. And he has taken these, what we call the licks of life, to learn to be a better person.
Yeah.
And that has, in his words, to making a better leader. And he is sharing that experience to have the leadership for the United Democratic Party. And if it's the will of the people, then to be the next Prime Minister of Belize.
You mentioned also, RC1, that the delegates from Collet was sworn in. Is that the what has to happen with all the delegates over the country? They have to be sworn in?
Yes, all delegates must be sworn in. That is part of the constitution of the United Democratic Party. So that when, for example, there is a question that is always asked, does the standing representative or the standard bearer
approve?
Recommend. Recommend, because you have an ethics commission who have to review these persons, that they have high standards and whatnot. So the elected standard bearer who's sworn in is one that makes the recommendation. However, in cases where you have an elected representative, the elected representative is also a delegate.
Okay.
It does not dissolve that individual from being a delegate. So that is the proceedings at this moment. And I found a text this morning. My phone froze yesterday. I like to take pictures, and I take too much. I take so much that my phone freezes.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
But I had previous pictures, and so I need to make some
clean up
response in relation to the delegates that some individuals were asking me, some area representatives. So this morning I will be dealing with that formality. But it's good to get people involved so that the delegates now, this leadership convention is an extremely special delegation and convention.
I ask a question of you, Ruben.
Go ahead.
Last 3-4 years ago, there was a convention in which the delegates voted from each constituency, voted for a party deputy leader. Do those delegates still stand, or do they need to be changed, or is it only for that election that those delegates were nominated, or is it a period of for how long, or is it for 5 years, or 10 years, or
there's a time
are
period
those changed every convention?
The party guidelines indicate that whenever there is, for example, whenever there is new general elections, when the House is dissolved, you don't have ministers. You have standard bearers. You have candidates, and so when a candidate is endorsed, that's why you noticed it said endorsement of the candidate for Collet. It didn't say for minister. The
Yeah.
candidate. So the candidate who is endorsed for that particular division, then at that time makes recommendation who the delegates are, and they are being sworn in by the central executive, which in most cases is the Secretary General or the party chairman that carries out the function. Now, in some cases, standard bearers choose to keep who they have, and some cases they choose to change, okay, who they are. But the guidelines is that the convention and endorsement in the constituent is the body that indicates who are going to be the delegates.
Apart from the delegates that the delegates can vote when it comes to conventions, what are some of the other responsibilities that is a task for the delegates?
Well, delegates are also form part of the executive committees of the constituent, and they are what you call the guard of the party, not to ensure that the candidate is doing what he or she is supposed to be doing politically wise in the constituents. Because when and they are the voice also, for example, when you have National Party Council, where you have the certain individuals are there, they have a voice at the next high level. You have the National Convention, National Party Council, and then the Central Executive of the party. So this is an opportunity for the voices of the constituents to be heard. And sometimes, you know, when you have discussions, we agree to disagree and disagree to agree. You know how that goes in discussions, right?
Mhm.
But there has to be a forum where ideas and creativity and a way forward is presented for party members, and that is one of the areas where the delegates are very, very important.
For someone to be a delegate, RC, do they have to live and register in the constituents?
Well, it's expected that they are unregistered voters as well.
Who can become a delegate?
Well, a delegate, first of all, you must be a United Democratic Party member in good standing. In other words, we need to recognize that you're a UDP, solid, and you're not a UDP that Goya, come there, or individual. I shouldn't say that, because a UDP is a UDP, right? But you know, you need to be individuals who are loyal, have loyalty, and go and guided by the principles of the United Democratic Party. And those individuals and the constituents are due for consideration. But only 15 can be named.
There's a discrepancy between the number 15, and I think Minister Saldiva alluded to 16.
You have well, there are 15 delegates, but the standard bearer is one, and then there are 3 alternatives in the event one can.
Let's take this call, RC. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning.
Morning.
Gentlemen.
Morning.
Sorry to interrupt, but this morning I was listening to you all about the respect of the flag.
Yes, ma'am.
How the younger when they respect the flag when somebody the minister and go up there and don't respect the prime minister?
Repeat that again?
No, I said the respect of the flag.
Uh-huh.
You have some of the minister go up there and disrespect the prime minister, which is the head of the country.
Some ministers disrespect.
What kind of respect in the show?
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
You have any comment to that, RC?
Well, yes, the flag is a symbol of everyone. The flag is the cover of Belize, and the symbolism of the flag is to be respected by everyone. The respect does not say whether you're a minister, does not say whether you're a prime minister. The respect is that you are Belizean, that have great pride and honor in valuing that which is part of our heart of our flag.
I think that the caller was more leaning towards showing how disrespectful some people can be, regardless that even to their own, to the prime minister, they can show complete disrespect. No, to something as inanimate as a flag, you know, les bale poco. But I get your point, ma'am. I get your point loud and clear. I know some people can easily be disrespectful, and that at one time, I think that I recall Prime Minister Esquivel telling a woman, well then shut up and let me talk. Do you recall that?
I don't remember that. But
don't you recall? I think it was Miss Amalia Mai, because she was insistent, and she's and this is the Prime Minister, and everybody goes like, well man, shut your mouth. until it actually came out of the Prime Minister's mouth. Well, then shut up and let me talk, because she was being very disrespectful. I guess that's what the lady is
Well, you see, that is why we talk about in the month of September, about values that we have. When we talk, I mean, I will not make a comparison about who disrespected who, rather, and what we should be doing. I mean, you can look at the negative side of things or the positive side of things. And I'm saying that in the month of September, it's an opportunity for us to build this respect. You know, there is so much democracy under the United Democratic Party that people feel they could say and do anything.
Feel free.
When you have the other party, opposition in government, sometimes you're afraid for talk. You know, so there are certain. See, freedom is not free. You know, democracy is to be guided. Democracy is to be protected. Not because you're free to say and do something means that is the only way. It's respect that goes with the democracy and participation. Again, I will go back to the point. We agree to disagree and disagree to agree, because that opinionated and opinions are very important in a democracy. But we must always hold the ability and opportunity to express our opinion. How we say it, what we say, that's our opinion. At the end of the day, though, we have one Belizean country, one national anthem, and one Belizean flag.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Morning, Chucky.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, RC.
Good morning, brother.
Morning, Emmanuel.
Morning.
Just a quick question. This one to the senior politician in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. To be a delegate, does the standard bearer handpick them, or is there a protocol in the constituency how delegates come about? One more time. Does the standard bearer handpick them, or is there some sort of protocol that must be carried out to arrive at delegates? And if there is a protocol, then what entity in the district is responsible to see that the protocol is being legally carried out? I just want to know. Bye.
To the senior politician.
Well, to my senior colleague, who knows the process. He has been a delegate. As you're well aware, that the standard bearer or area representative is the political leader in that division. So the political leader is the one that convokes or calls the executive for a meeting, in an environment for them to make recommendations of who the delegates may be, and then that is put forward to the executive committee or to the convention, and that is how it's approved.
So let me repeat that. The standard bearer then
is the political leader.
Is the political leader
Yes.
of the division.
Right, and has the responsibility.
And calls members of his committees.
The executive committee.
The executive committee for that division.
Exactly.
If there's any.
Yes.
If there's any. To do that. Okay, all right. I can see that there's going to be a problem in Orange Walk North because
But can there be objection of any member of the United Democratic Party to a delegate?
Objections can be made for almost anything, Chucky. I mean, it's your opinion. But once the numbers are there, one of the things about delegates and people who have the love for their party, everybody would want to be a delegate, and it's difficult to say which 15 or 16 will be going there, and then the number 17 or 18 say, well, I wish to be there. Yeah. And that is why you have these open forums where you can go and be part of it.
Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I want to publicly thank Mr. Aragon for changing the flags. He heard the call. When I called, I said that the flags on the roundabout was dilapidated.
Yes.
But it needs not to be called and say that the flags are being mistreated. He was a senior police officer, right? Now he's supposed to know better. He's supposed to know the flag protocol, respecting our flag. So it's in his hand that he should protect our flag as an ex-police officer. And he said that Mr. Martinez asked him if there is a light shining on the flag. He said, the place is well lit. The flag protocol reads that if a flag is going to be flown at night, a light should be shining on the flag, not around the flag. That's the flag protocol, and he should know better than that. He's an ex-police officer, right? So, and then the flag protocol has a lot of things. If it is raining, a flag should being brought down. If the flag has a little torn, it has to be brought down. How to dispose of a flag properly, right, when it is damaged. We have a big line of flag protocol, right? And that we need to teach our kids how to treat our flag. There's a way how to fold
That's
our flag.
exactly my point a while ago.
It has a big protocol. The Northern Territorial Volunteers, we had a group that we were going to schools trying to teach these kids how to do it. But we were braked. We were stopped.
Wow.
Right? But we will insist that we'll try again. We'll try again to go to schools and teach our flag protocol, teach what our symbol means, what the 50 leaves around means. We'll teach our flag protocol, right?
Yeah.
So I'll congratulate the minister once more, right? But he needs to keep a watch on those flags on the roundabout. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mr. Martinez were asking that who stop on going to the schools.
Well, I wouldn't say, but I will start over again.
Okay, good. Yeah, keep it up, Carla. Keep it up.
I won't point fingers, but we'll start all over again.
All right, keep it up. Good work.
The roundabout is very beautiful, but our flag needs to be respected and needs to be treated properly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, and that's precisely the point that Emmanuel was bringing. That and the caller. Thank you, caller. It's very important that NICH needs to produce a protocol, a manual, and distribute it, because I mean, you say one thing, I say one thing, he say one thing, and they see another thing. But if you have a documented protocol that we can not only share in the schools, but we can share to the general public as part of the educational plan, our project, how to deal with our national flag. That in itself is an exercise. And so I agree with the caller that there needs to be about the protocol, but we need while NICH at this time and the political parties have agreed on how the flag is to be produced now, then we need to start looking at how this protocol is going to be sent out and put in the educational system and community system, so that we can know precisely how and what to do with it.
Thank you very much, RC1, and thanks to the callers. At this time, we will take a break, and when it's 14 minutes after 8 o'clock, we take a break, and we will be right back.
Let's take that break.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
There's no need to go across the border to enjoy sun, sand, and crystal blue waters. Belize's northern islands and reef are just a boat ride away. Go slow and immerse yourself into the Caribbean Sea, or enjoy some fresh coconut water. Or pick up the pace on an island where locals can enjoy sandy beaches by day and feast on your fresh catch by night. Discover the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef and submerge yourself into another world where you can experience a traffic jam you will want to return. You can also make new friends along the way. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The Government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta a las 8:18. Hoy por la mañana vamos a este es el último segmento del show, pues porque también tenemos una urgencia. Disculpen, les pedimos sus disculpas, pero en realidad hay algo súper importante que tenemos que hacer, así que llevaremos el show hasta las 8:30 y luego entonces para permitir que nuestro técnico haga su cumplimiento con sus responsabilidades. Así que estamos aquí hablando acerca de los protocolos que necesitamos establecer, puesto que, pues más que nunca, ahora en el mes de septiembre, es cuando más vemos una necesidad por ello. ¿Por qué lo decimos? Es porque está el anunciador el 20 por la noche a las 11:15, 11:30, anunciando que el himno nacional de Belice, que por favor la gente se pare, y la gran mayoría de gente están comprando cerveza, y durante el himno nacional les vale nada, les vale, por no decir otra palabrota, les vale, y no hay nadie que ejerce esto. Yo sería franco, yo si fuera el maestro de ceremonia, yo pararía hasta que me den un poco de respeto. Yo le voy a pedir también ayuda a los policías que cierren todos los lugares mientras que tengamos el himno nacional. Y si esos chinos no lo respetan, entonces hay que hacerlos respetar, porque no es un país de ellos y a ellos les vale madre. Pero a nosotros los beliceños nos importa, y nos debe de importar, que cuando se toca el himno nacional, señores, señoras, parados todos. Y aunque tengas un nené en brazos, te paras también. No eres exento, te paras también y a respetar la bandera y el himno nacional. Ya, somos gente grande, man. Somos gente grande que podemos entender cuando se nos dicen las cosas. Pero nos falta ir a otros países a ver cómo ellos en torno tratan sus himnos nacionales y respetan de las banderas. Ya luego, ¿sabes qué va a suceder? Nos vamos a llenar la cara de vergüenza, porque tan de repente nos vamos a dar cuenta que mal estamos, porque solo aquí en Belice se hace lo que te dé la gana mientras que se está tocando el himno nacional, y te preguntas, bueno, ¿y por qué? ¿Y por qué no hemos desarrollado ese orgullo cívico todavía aún? ¿Será que todavía somos un país recién nuevo a los 38 años de independencia? ¿Será que todavía no hemos logrado inculcar esa lealtad, ese patriotismo, ese sentido de nacionalismo? de pertenecer, un sentido de pertenecer. ¿Será que todavía nos hace falta eso? ¿O será que necesitamos ciertas otras cosas? Necesitamos ejercer la ley. Pero yo se los pido, por favor, empecemos a ser un poco más leales, belicenios, patriotas, por favor.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Morning, guys. Me again.
Yes, sir.
I just want to change the tune a little bit because the September celebrations they come, and I just to bring up this complaint from some friends in a business, right? His view is that and this is a business complaint. I'm just bringing it up. He says that the September celebration and the festivities are the time when the small business make money, right? So that's the time when they're supposed to make their money because they have to pay rent, trade license, this bill, that bill. So the festivities are the time when they're supposed to make their money. And lo and behold, as it relates to the rum companies, this is his view. He says that in September, celebrations were supposed to go out there and make money, crowd the day. And lo and behold, the local manufacturers carry their tent out there, go sell dollar drink. He believes that there's a time for the company to do its promotion. For example, there's a certain day in the year where Caribbean does its promotion, they do that, and let that day. Because for the celebrations, that's when the business they make money, and they still carry their tent out there, go sell dollar drink. So it messes up the people that buy from them because that's when the cheese is supposed to make for the small business. Now, that's our complaint that they bring to you from the business community. Another little complaint, this is a personal one, is that the other day, my wife and aunt went to Mass, and they asked me to pick them up. So I went like 10 minutes early, and lo and behold, on the back street of the church, the Riverside Street, I understand there's a base, what they call the base, right? I don't know what the base. And from that area, two individuals who I recognize to be questionable were walking up and walk the street parallel to the church. And it was at night, about 8:39, then they walked on some. And I became very concerned because when I looked some, would you believe it? The street where the church is housed, where the spiritually nourished females pray for us, the community, is badly lit. It's dangerous. I mean, come on. I could put some light there. We have to protect with spiritually nourished. We have to protect with wives, with aunties, and so. That place not going to light. It looked dangerous. And with that questionable characters, because I became very concerned, so I decided I'll mention it. Emmanuel, you know better, you know, church, but at night, that place not got no light. I mean, come on, we have to do something about that. We have to protect with females, we have to protect with Christians, we have to protect with church. So make somebody from somewhere look into that now, please. And don't forget, the business community said the time for promotion for manufacturers is a certain time, and the time for make the small business make money is the festivities. Therefore, it's unfair for them to sell dollar drink to compete for the people in the shelter. That's not my complaint. It's the complaint for the business community. I just bring it up. Anyway, thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, RC1, it's 25 after 8 and we need to go. We want to ask you for closing remarks, but you know, we're open for any time you have the time. We'd like to have you at least 1 or 2 times or 3 times or 5 times in a week. Try and make it one out of 5 at least.
Well, this is 1 out of 5, and thanks for the invitation. And to the caller, thank you for calling. And again, I just want to say one thing with September celebrations. In a democracy, those are things that happen. But having said that, I want to say blessings for all the wonderful children going back to school, to the teachers, to the parents. You know, may this be one of the best years in the scholastic field, and may our children be blessed, and the parents, and encourage your children to do their homework, have them rest their phones and concentrate on their education and such, and blessings for them. And also I want to thank both of you for the invitation, and God bless you all. Have a wonderful day.
Well, thank you very much, RC1, and all the best to
Thank you,
yourself.
Chicky.
I know you're living in the
Come on,
school
man.
area, and I know how your heart is to the kids, and you see the kids there every day. So, want to certainly wish you the best. My name is Robert Cheque Usher. The show repeats tonight at exactly 9 o'clock. Tune into the same station when we have the Channel 7 news coming up around 6:30 this evening. And enjoy. All the best. My name is Robert Cheque Usher.
And my name is Emmanuel. I'd like to take time, quiero tomar tiempo aparte para mandarles saludos a toda nuestra audiencia y decirles muchas gracias por su audiencia. Le agradecemos muchísimo esta oportunidad para poder llegar hasta lo más íntimo de sus hogares. Así que muchas gracias. Primero Dios, estaremos de vuelta con ustedes mañana a la misma hora. Se cuidan. Tengan un bonito día todos.
Sugar City Morning Show.